What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Trick 10s. This is part 4 of this LOWE brand new boat, 1648 flat bottom. This thing is sick, guys. We made a ton of progress in this video. I've got some big news at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stick around to the end. You are not going to want to miss this. Let's get right into the video. out, man. This thing is looking sick. You got all the metal work in here. Everything is level and flush. Ready to rock and roll, man. Looks so good. There's so much extra space up here when you work with one of these square nose boats. Not my normal cup of tea. I like the V-nose. I think they're stronger. They cut through the waves better, but it does obviously give you a lot more deck space, and we have kind of went overboard with the hatches that are in here, but why not? I mean, you can't ask for much more than what we put in here. This is going to be a sick build. Now, obviously, I went ahead and I framed out all the way around this foot pedal tray, because since this boat is set up the way it is with, you know, the square nose boat, this is so far away from this foot pedal tray that I want to be able to remove the foot pedal tray at a later date if I have to upgrade wires and stuff for, you know, fish finders or live scope and stuff like that. I guarantee you he's going to want to do that. So we're going to put this foot pedal tray on top of the turf, and we're going to mount his graph up here on the front. Originally I was thinking about putting it on the swing arm back here, but after the last video he saw it and he said he wants to put it up here, and that's perfectly fine, because we're going to throw some cup holders back here. Might even put 2 in there. That way it'll help out with running wires, because if he wants to put, you know, another graph back there on a swing arm, then I'm going to have to get in there and pull a wire. So the thing looks super dope though. I've been working around the clock trying to finish this thing up, and we are finally getting close to the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, obviously, I got power cable running up through here, and that's basically just plugged into his battery tender. You can see the batteries 3 and 4 are completely charged, and they are tending because they're green. Batteries 1 and 2 are still red, and I've had them on the charger for about 6 hours yesterday, and since I've been out here working tonight for at least 2 hours, so they've got to be getting close to being fully charged. I'm ready to start this turf in here, but before I do that, I have a couple things left. Like, I've got to run these wires through here. I left this piece off, and obviously I have to install that before I can do the turf. So I'm going to go ahead and run these wires, and basically the only wires I have to run through here, I have to run a wire back for the LEDs, the strip rails that are going on the interior from Custom LED Inc. I did get those. Those are right here. He sent me those. We've got some green and white flip-flop lights. I've got the switches and everything ready for that. So I'm ready to go with that, but I got to run a wire back here. Now I'm just going to run one wire from the switch panel to the back for that. And then I'm going to run another wire from the switch panel to the back for the bilge pump. And that will finish up pretty much all the wiring. I can go ahead and install this permanently, and then I can start turfing it. But since I'm doing this wiring tonight and it's already getting late, it's like 10:30 at night, I'm going to go ahead and just try to get as much wiring done as I can, because inside the electrical panel, obviously I don't have any of the panel in here or wires hooked up for the switches and fuse block. I did paint that, and that's ready to go. It's been sitting over here since last night. Just painted it black. Stupid simple, but I got to hook that up. That's my plan, because I want to put this turf in here so bad, but I don't want to start putting this turf in here at 11 o'clock at night. And there's a chance that Austin might come over and help me do this, and it'd be a whole lot easier if I had 2 people. I'm going to go ahead and run as much wires in here as I can tonight and try to get this stuff finished up and figured out, especially this switch panel. I want to hook that up and get that ready to go. As you can see up inside of here, I did run wires up here. Now, all of these wires that are ran up inside of here, there's a transducer wire. The transducer that is sitting right here. It's going to go on to the trolling motor. And then the rest of these, there's a power cable in here, and then these 2 on the side right here, just white and green. Those are power cables that are going to go to the fish finder. It's going to mount right up here on the face. So all the wires are done. I wanted to do that before I put all this stuff inside of here as far as this metal work goes, because as you can see up inside of here, well, it's tight quarters. I mean, all those batteries, they're all hooked up. Everything is finalized. They all have caps on them and everything. Now, if he's got to get those out, he's going to have to get up in there and pull them out, especially these front 3. They're all jumped together in a 36 volt because they're running the trolling motor. So he's going to have to pull all 3 of those out at the same time. It's going to be a pain in the butt. And since they're like that, I wanted to go ahead and make sure that all the wires are hooked up before I put all these sheet pieces in here. That way, I don't have to worry about those. All those batteries are hooked up to this tender, and he should not have to mess with those batteries at all unless there's an issue with them, but I doubt he's going to have any issues with them. with that being said, guys, I'm gonna put y'all back on the hyperlapse. I'm gonna go ahead and start running some of these wires in here and try to finish up all the wiring that's going in the boat. And then hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll get this turf done and get this thing wrapped up. It looks good though. I'm pumped. I think it's the baddest 1648 flat bottom boat that's ever been built. I'm kind of excited about this. Let's go back to work. Alright guys, so I got mostly all the electrical done. You can see I got the switches and the fuse block installed. Just got to hook up all the accessories into the back of the switches now, but I'm ready to turf this thing, man. I got to put this turf in here. I've been looking at this turf for a little while now, and I really want to turf this boat. So that's what we're getting ready to do. I've got the hydro turf over there. It's a cobblestone color, and what I'm going to do to start this out, I'm going to measure off of this side out at about 45 inches because the sheets run like 47, and then I'm going to put a straight line straight up the face of this deck, and I'll start my sheet on the floor up and keep it right along that line going straight up and over. Then I'll pick up from there with my next sheet. It's pretty simple though. I got a little bit of cleanup to do. I still got to wipe the boat down with acetone, but everything looks good. Fitment on everything looks like it's going to be pretty simple. Fingers crossed, knock this thing out of the park. Let's get back to work. right, guys, so check it out, man. What an amazing turf job. I mean, this turf is sick. I really like this cobblestone color. It's the first time that we've used it in a boat, and it just matches perfectly. I really dig it. I mean, I like the camo colors. They're easier to install. I mean, the cut groove does throw a wrench into it. It makes it a lot harder because you can't really stretch the stuff. You have to make your cuts perfect, and then you have to cut each piece when you line them up. That way, everything matches up. If you cut where a high is at, you got to start with a low. Obviously, they're cut out. So it turned out sick, though, man. I mean, all in all, I had no real issues with anything that I put in here. All the turf on the top is completed. I did put some of the turf inside of some of these compartments. Got this one finished up. And the rod locker is my favorite of all the hatches. I mean, look at this thing. I love the turf that's inside of there with the turf that's on top of here, because this turf, cobblestone, has the black and this tan color, and well, this one inside of here is like a black with a tan also. I mean, this is actually a black and white swirl. It's no way at all white. It's like a tannish color, but it matches perfect. And if I would have used one of these sheets of cobblestone and burned one to do this whole rod locker like I was thinking of earlier, it would have completely screwed me, because when I did these last two pieces from here over and there over on these side pieces, I had one sheet left, and I literally used the entire sheet, and I actually had to stretch it a little bit because I was going to cut this one about 1 inch long, and then I measured that one, and I was like, well, damn, if I cut this one 1 inch long, that one's going to be 1 inch short. So I had to cut it exact length, and it didn't turn out bad. But as you can see down here on the floor, it's got a little bit of a gap, you know, right down here in this bottom. It's hard to see. It's not very noticeable, and I'm glad that I double checked all my measurements before I started cutting those, because if I would have cut this one 1 inch long, then that one would have been 1 inch short. And I'd had to come back with another strip across the bottom. But the way that it worked out, one piece on either side, finished it off, and she's perfect. Now look, I do have a lot of sheets left. I mean, part sheets at least, but I've got a decent amount of sheets over here. I'm going to have more than enough to finish up a little bit of turf that I want to do inside of here. I'm going to turf inside of these little like dry boxes I got in here. I got one here, and then I have another one here, and same thing on that side. And this one's really cool, man. This is probably my favorite hatch in the whole boat right here. It's the first time I've done one like this, but I think it's sick. I turfed inside of here with the cobblestone. Down on the floor, that's a HydroTurf gray cut groove. Now, got lots of shavings and stuff in here. I got to clean this up, but I think this is really sick. He's got a little throwaway stash up here, like a catch-all for anything he wants to get rid of quick. This is going to be where he's going to be at most of the time. If he wants to discharge baits and cut one off, well, you got a whole tray right here. You can line them bad boys up, and then when you get home, you take them out and put them back into your tackle stores, because that thing is going to come in handy. I don't know, man. Sometimes when I get this far into the build, I start to see the finish line, and I'm trying to just finish this thing up, and I forget that this boat belongs to a customer, and it's going to be his pride and joy. This is going to be his baby. He's got kids, and it's going to be awesome for him to get this boat. And I hit him up just a couple days ago and told him that I'm pretty much almost done with this build. I could have it done by this weekend, and I could wrap this whole thing up this week, and he can come pick it up. But he told me that he's going to be out of town this weekend, and next weekend he's got to work or something, so he's not going to be able to come pick this up for at least another 2 weeks. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take my time and just finalize everything and make sure everything is exactly perfect, exactly the way that I would want it to be for myself. That's something that I do with the boats that I will never lose. So I love the turf color. It looks sick. I think it matches the paint color perfectly. I got a bunch of decals and stuff we're going to put in here. I still have a decent amount of wiring to do. I still got to put this bilge pump inside of here. I've got to run the LED strip lights on the interior rails. I've got all the internal LEDs ran, and I've got the nav lights run for wiring. Got to put a nav light post back here, and I got strip rail lights for the nav lights up on the bow. Got to hook those up. But it's not a tremendous amount of stuff, but I'd rather just go ahead and take my time and finish up everything and make it exactly the way that I would want it to be and make it perfect for the customer. All in all, though, I'm extremely happy with this build so far. I mean, this is the sickest 1648 flat bottom boat that I've ever done and that I've pretty much ever seen. Pretty dope, though. One last thing I wanted to show you guys is this trolling motor piece over here. Now, this is the transducer for his Lowrance, and I looked high and low to try to find this piece right here so I can mount this on his trolling motor, because he wants to put this up on the trolling motor. And apparently Lowrance doesn't make this piece, so the only option I could find was a 3D printed version. And you can see it's not perfect. It's got some little spots on it, but it doesn't really have to be perfect. It just has to serve its purpose. You got your pieces that are going to come through here with the stainless hose clamps. They're going to hold this onto the trolling motor, and then these bolt holes have to line up with these bolt holes. Now, on the reviews on Amazon, it said that they didn't line up, but to me, it looks like they all pretty much line up. If I have to drill this out a little bit, it's not the end of the world. It did come with some stainless hardware, so I'm pretty pumped about this. This is only like 35 bucks, and if this gets the job done and it gets this thing finished up, well, I think it's worth every single penny. Still got to install the trolling motor, and I got to hook up the wires for the trolling motor and stuff, but majority of all that stuff is finished up. It's just waiting for me right here inside of this recessed foot pedal tray. Obviously, I got handles for all of these hatches that are going in here, sitting in the box over there. We made a lot of progress, still got a little bit of stuff to do, but I'm pumped with everything so far. I think it's going to be a sick-ass build, guys. All right, guys, so originally I was going to go ahead and wrap this entire build up into this video, but, you know, I started thinking about it, and after talking to the customer and realizing that he's not going to pick it up for another 2 weeks, I decided that it would be better for me and more beneficial if I went ahead and cut this thing up right now and stop this video. We're already at the 30-minute mark, which is crazy because I've been doing a lot of research on my YouTube channel and trying to, you know, learn how to grow it and figure out what's going to be best for me. And when I originally started doing YouTube like 4 years ago, I was happy to drop my videos at 7 minutes. If I had a 7-minute video, I was going to drop it. Then it went to 10 minutes to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and now it's like a 30-minute video I'm happy with. I have some videos on the channel that are 2 hours plus, but for me, I think that the 30-minute mark is about the mark where I need to be at. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But regardless, guys, I didn't drop a video to you last week because I went out of town the weekend before last. I went to the lake house in Lake Gaston. We had a good time. And then I came back for 4 days, went to work, and I didn't really have a lot of time to record a lot of stuff. Couldn't drop a video that week. And then we went out of town last weekend to my parents' beach house in the Outer Banks, and we stayed there from Thursday night until Monday night. So here we are on Wednesday night, and I'm probably going to drop this video to you guys tomorrow on Thursday. At least that's the plan, if I can finish all this editing and stuff. So I would really like to have a video for you guys this week, because if I don't drop videos on YouTube, then, you know, they're just going to throw me up underneath the bus and run me over and back up over me. So I need to have some videos dropping for you guys. And this one right here is pretty sick. I mean, we made a lot of progress in this video, man. I mean, this whole boat, we had no turf in here when we started. The hatches were not even installed. We didn't even have any of these LED lights in here. This is a full video. A lot of the build series that I've done in the past, they've been 10 plus series builds episodes. Like, that's a lot. This one, we're trying to wrap it up into 4. It's kind of cutting it close, and it's a whole lot of information that I'm just hyperlapsing through just to get to the finish line to drop a video for you guys, and it's going to be like an hour-long video. So I'm going to chop this up. We're going to put these LED light strips in here from Custom LED Inc., and those things are sick. We got them on a 3-way switch. That way we can flip-flop between the 2 colors. We've got green and white going into the boat. I'm pumped. I think it's going to look awesome with this turf, with the decals that I got going in here. There's lots of hatches in here, guys. I mean, tons of hatches. We have a crap load of hatches in this boat. He's got tons of storage. He's not going to have to worry about looking for storage or having places to put stuff. I can guarantee you that much. Regardless, guys, I do appreciate y'all hanging out with me today, watching this whole video. If you're still sticking around, well, I got something I wanted to show with you guys. So look, we have 2 of these Art Captain auto darkening welding helmets. They sent me these 2, and they actually might send me 2 more. And these are actually pretty cool. I pulled them out and looked at them. These are for a giveaway. We're going to be giving away both of these helmets very shortly on the channel. I might even do one of the giveaways in the next episode, which is definitely going to be the final reveal of this boat build right here. So I think that's pretty dope, man. Big shout outs to Art Captain for hooking it up. They've been an awesome sponsorship, and I'm pretty excited to continue to work with them, because if I can get stuff like this and give this type of products away to you guys, I mean, welding shields, these auto darkening helmets, you know, they have some cheapo ones out there, but I looked at these and they seem like they were pretty legit. So I could rock with one of these. I think you guys are going to like them. So make sure you guys stick around, hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this build. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get back to work.